So back in my day, and back in your day, our media, at least we're telling the stories, I know a little bit before our time, of going to like Vietnam and, at least be reporting stories while under fire, taking some personal risk, doing things that mattered. And yeah, media always had a left-wing bias, of course, even back then. Hanoi Jane and all that kind of nonsense. But at least they were doing things. They were putting themselves out there. The media now will show up at your cousin's house to dox you because you had a social media channel that republished videos that teachers, the most insane teachers on earth, themselves made these videos. TikTok's, it's a video blogging platform, like most of their video blogging platforms, probably mostly for humorous stuff. So teachers are posting their own videos up there. And Libs of TikTok, a lady who tried to maintain some degree of anonymity because she rightfully realizes how insane the world is. And she had like 500,000 followers, and now she's got, every time you check, her sub count is just going insane. She's going to have 1 million probably within a couple of weeks. She said a massive, massive growth. So the amount of insane, crazy, dangerous people out there, you don't really understand it until you have a little bit of a social media platform, a little bit of a footprint. As tiny as my footprint is, as tiny as it is, I've had a couple of weirdo stalkers and death threats for having this tiny, tiny little platform. If you have something like 800,000, she's got like 900,000 right now. There's legitimately people out there who are writing her names on 308s and are looking for her. Like, she has, I don't know where she is now, where in the world she is now, but wherever she is, she has to move immediately. Like, go stay at someone else's house and sell your current house. That's how weird people are right now. All because of this one lovely lady, Taylor Lorenz, who, to be fair, is getting a little bit of, she's seen some redress of grievance thanks to the weaponized autism of 4chan, Telegram, Kiwi Farms, and Gab. Because if you want to collect news, is her version of reporting the news is going to your family's house and trying to get them to say something incriminating so you can further put this stuff out there. Well, if you're a reporter and you want to go interview her or her friends and family, I mean, that's on the table now also. That's constitutionally protected activity, right? So she's gonna probably learn. She's probably gonna get some experience with that, as she's been whining about on Twitter. She's trying to justify the $1 billion Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Washington Press going after a comedy site on Twitter, Libs of TikTok, who republishes videos and as a consequence, they're probably both legitimately getting threats of extinguishment now. So not only is the current clown media nothing more than a weapon for billionaires. I mean, it's not like the media was never the media. Even in like the 70s, they had this kind of, there's a cliche stereotype of some guy wearing like a jungle jacket, being out in some dangerous area, reporting on something, some brush fight in Africa or something. It's like Dan Rather reporting on the scenes in Nigeria, some Nigerian war. It's like, yeah, they actually did this stuff back in the day, and now you've got a media that is just a propaganda arm. Like, there's no media left. And then you have not only that, but you have social media companies like an archive company who will scrub the archives when it makes someone on their side look bad, which is what happened with one of these archive sites. Gee, you got to look up a public figure who for sure would be in all the archive sites, and you go to one of the main archive sites, and all of a sudden it's, this user's information cannot be retrieved. Her Twitter, archive her Twitters, because what happens as soon as somebody gets the spotlight showing on them, and to be fair, this happens to people on the left and right. It happened to both this Taylor Lorenz, and the other lady. They both immediately start going back through and deleting tweets. That's like everyone does that. That's to be expected. So people archive this stuff and archive everything. And really, if you're a big enough person, then you've got like a tracker bot on your profile, which is like anything that gets published usually will get archived. So, but that's to be expected. Public figures having a public debate, it should be in the public light. But this archive website themselves, deleted the archives of Taylor Lorenz. And there's a little bit of detrimental reliance concepts going on there, that you're engaging in this public discourse and you think, okay, I'll use this unbiased third-party site. And like, oh, nope, they deleted it. Why? Because it probably made her look bad. To be fair, the archive.ph has got, I think, all her old tweets on there. So, Taylor Lorenz, enemy of the people. And Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Washington Post, CRT, Saul Alinsky, Frankfurt School, Bolsheviks, critical thinking. It all is all kind of working together. And one of the reasons they're getting so upset is because you're going against the narrative. And the other reason is they panicked is because this guy says here, he goes, I don't get why they're mad. They seem so proud to make these TikTok videos that they, put on TikTok, just insane blue-haired weirdo teachers who are spreading this nonsense propaganda to kids. And then the answer is the videos were meant for the cult and the children to watch, not for the parents to watch. So what Libs of TikTok did was she republished TikTok videos that these nutjob teachers made, and she put some comments on it. It was like a pretty standard Twitter, I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, there's a fair amount of accounts that there used to be more of these accounts. It was like, it was making fun of SJWs, like SJW own accounts. And then YouTube over the years slowly got rid of them because it's controlling a narrative. And when you've got YouTube channels that take all these little video clips of SJWs looking like just the nut jobs, a lot of them are legitimately chemically, have got chemical dependency issues and some organic mental illness. But the thing is, when you start putting that stuff online, it's a counter narrative to a generally a left-wing narrative. So YouTube, Google looked at it and go, oh yeah, we got to find a way to take these channels down. I mean, they can just delete the channels left and right if they want, but they also want to kind of have a something they can point to, some violation they can point to, which is they'll come up with the reason because they have to take these channels down. Libs of TikTok laughing at SJWs because it's a narrative they're pushing, and if you counter the narrative in some way, even just as innocuous a way as Libs of TikTok just posting their own videos and laughing at them, they will do nothing. They will stop at nothing to destroy you. They will, even if it makes them look. Because here's the thing: even if it makes them look bad, I was gonna say even people on the left are looking at this Taylor Lorenz going to her family's house or cousin's house, someone who shared her last name's house, to try to dox her and get information for her. Like even there's a fair amount of people in the middle of the bell curve are looking at that like that and going, yeah, this isn't really newsworthy content. Yeah, you get the First Amendment and protections of the media for sure, no problem there, but this doesn't make sense that you're putting so much energy. The Washington Post, the $1 billion Washington Post, is putting so much energy into going to your cousin's house because she runs a $500,000 at the time when she started. It's like it was a moderately sized account, but it wasn't insane. It's not a monster account. It doesn't make sense that Washington Post, Taylor Lorenz, she's just the useful idiot of the Washington Post. It doesn't make sense that you would go through to this, and there's that image of her being photographed outside her cousin's house or her family's house. This looks more like intimidation, like a threat of intimidation. The mighty power of the $1 billion Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Washington Post to come after you because you dared to go against the narrative. It doesn't sit well with a lot of people when you look at like how much power the media has when they go after you. When CNN did the same thing, when some guy posted a meme about Trump was wrestling with somebody and they posted the CNN image over it and they doxed that guy. And then that's another thing. It's like, did you use illegal means to gather the information? Because gee, maybe the other media will go look into the CNN or Washington Post to see how you gather that information. I'm not saying you did, but it seems like you're willing to sidestep the law when it's on your side, when somebody challenges the narrative. And for that CNN thing, when Trump wrestling, it's like, that's a nonsense meme. That's just somebody that probably took him a half hour to put the image of CNN over another wrestler's face. It's like, that was a really low grade meme. It feels weird that CNN would interview this guy or dox him, call him up and say, yeah, we're not going to release his information, but that's subject to change. Well, that is a threat of intimidation. Why would you feel? I mean, the other thing is, like, why would they feel comfortable? Like, the lack of self-awareness is really weird. To see this image of Taylor Lorenz going outside this woman's house, she's wearing a mask outdoor. I think she's wearing 2 masks outdoors. To see her go outside some lady's house, it's like, this isn't newsworthy for the amount of money and time you're putting into this. People start to suspect that there's something else going on. It's like, yeah, there's something else going on. The media is not the media. There's the whole bullshit view that my generation had of the media, of going to war-torn countries. We're in Central America, and there's tracer fire overhead, some CIA-funded psyop glow operation, probably to smuggle more cocaine to sell in inner cities. You saw them actually like doing things that mattered, and now they're just openly a branch of the DNC or some left-wing darling. Is there any major media company that is trying to be fair and impartial, unbiased? No. And, I look at Twitter now and I see the people arguing over this. And I will say the people who are supporting Taylor Lorenz are more on the extreme far left side, the dangerous side, the bomb-throwing Bolshevik side. The people who are legitimately writing names on 308s. Like, these are people who... there's a lot of organically disturbed people on social media. And it's like, to get on social media, all you need is a cell phone or a tablet. It's like $100 and somebody's Wi-Fi password. And like, you can build up a following on social media and just be a crazy person. Just as crazy as Jack Nicholson and For Whom the Bell Tolled. No, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Just out of your, like, imagine all those people. But now suddenly with tablets and Wi-Fi and just having accounts, I know they closed down the hospitals. It's like, gee, California, the feds closed down the hospitals. Maybe it's time for the state to take over and open up those hospitals. Oh no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to put them on the street. I feel like being on Twitter, reading Twitter, what a black hole depression it is. We have irreconcilable differences with the people on social media, where to the point of to say like, oh, you're gonna have to return to a states' rights campaign, a 10th Amendment issue of like the 50 states need to be a collection of 50 states, not a federation, or to split the nation into some like big regional area, because there's a lot of people who look at what's going on now with the teachers and the grooming of kids, and it's like homeschooling in the next 5 years. Homeschooling is booming right now because to try to change a school district and a school, oh man, that's a losing battle. It would be sweet if we could get people involved to go run for school boards and city councils. It's not a losing battle. I won't say that. It's just the people who are so enmeshed in there. There's a deep state concept that goes with everything. The people who are enmeshed in it now are far left extremists. These Weingardens and Garfinkels and just whack job. Globalists, CRT, anti-white, misandrists, anti-European people, globalists. They're globalists. That word means a lot. It sums up a lot. So yeah, you could take over those boards. It's like, as soon as parents started to wake up and go to school council meetings, Garfinkel, he goes, oh, we're gonna have to get the FBI to go investigate these parents who don't want their daughters struggle snuggled in the girls' room because boys are in the girls' room now. It's like, you saw how fast, as soon as the normie starts to wake up, the libs of TikTok or the parents at the parent-teacher meeting, you saw how fast this machine, and the machine is this globalist government, the media, the social media, all the Amazon, Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're all working together to push this one narrative to the point where, like, I don't know how much the normie knows about this. Like, people want to stay asleep on bread and circuses for as long as possible, but eventually you just can't, it's time to sell those cloaks. And I always heard that phrase, like, sell your cloak and buy a sword. That seems awfully an exaggeration, because I think you'd have to sell quite a few cloaks to buy a sword. A sword's pretty much a high dollar item. And back then they probably meant spear anyway, because spear is like the infantryman's basic weapon, where sword was like kind of a, I don't know, cut above. It's like the equivalent of like a high dollar pistol or something. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.